your cooperative production seminar. We certainly wish that we could be doing this in person like we normally have in the past. But of course, the situation that we're all in right now kind of precludes that from happening. We are very hopeful that by next year we can all get together again and say hi in person. We have a pretty big agenda for this morning and for tomorrow morning, so we hope you'll stay tuned and stay with us. We'll do our best to stay on time, so you know when different speakers are going to be up. But before I get into any more of the details, I'm going to turn it over to Steve Dom to give a few updates.
Thanks, Todd. As Todd said, you got a pretty busy schedule today, so I'll be very brief. First of all, thank you for joining today. Your continued commitment to this cooperative is phenomenal. Hope you find this information today informational for your operation. Some quick factory updates. Factory has processed 2.1 million tons of beets so far this campaign, with 1.25 remaining. Year-to-date slice is right at 13.5 at 153 days of slice. Extraction year-to-date is an 82.9. This compared to last year of a 79.6 at the same number of slice days. Our boiler issues that we had last week that did slow slice down have been rectified, and we feel fairly confident that we will be able to maintain a 500 to 530 ton an hour or a 12,500 to 13,000 ton a day slice going forward. Sugar prices are holding firm. They look good into 2021. Our net FOB for crop year 2020 on 9.1 million hundredweight of sugar sold is a 34.71. So that's remained relatively unchanged since the annual meeting. For crop year 2021, we've got 2 million hundredweight sold at a net FOB of a 34.83, so a slight uptick. And that's actually about 400,000 more at the same time last year that we had sold. Markets remain real quiet through the holidays. Our really only concern going forward is going to be COVID, and if it does shut the food service industry down, what that could do for movements out of our factory. Moving to Brawley, crop looks good. Root samples were pulled January 4th. As of January 4th, they're showing a half a ton an acre above the 5-year average. On the sugar content, they're looking at 1.03% above the 5-year average. So everything looks pretty decent out in Brawley. They're on schedule to start harvest April 1st. Hopefully we'll be able to see everybody in person at our spring shareholder meeting. So these virtual meetings will be one and done, but time will tell. With that, thanks for everything you do for this cooperative. And as always, any comments or questions, please feel free to call. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Tom.
All right, thank you, Steve. Just in the way of updates, just a quick update on where the piles are at. I know there's a lot of people wondering. We are in the process of trying to freeze the piles. Obviously, the month of January has been somewhat challenging with a really limited amount of fan time. We do have the piles maybe 2/3 to 3/4 of the way frozen, depending on the pile. So we're making good progress. We do have some cold weather coming this weekend, which we really need. We probably need some more additional cold weather next week to finish the job. So all in all, I think we're doing pretty good on that. We do have some small issues at the piles, but nothing that we're not staying ahead of at this point. So nothing I'm really too concerned about. So with regard to the meeting, for those of you who are CCAs who are looking for CEU credits, there's going to be 2 ways that you can get those from this meeting. There's going to be the QR codes. You guys are very familiar with those. There's going to be 4 of them for this morning's session. and 4 for tomorrow's session, which we'll show tomorrow. We'll show the QR code right after the presentations that apply to that, and then we will scroll all 4 of them after the meeting is over, so you have an opportunity. The other way to get that is we're going to have a Google form in the chat box that you can link into and put in the information there if you miss the QR codes. If you have questions, obviously we cannot take them like we normally do live, but there is a Q&A box at the bottom of your webinar screen. Please input your questions there as they come up. If there's time, we will have the speaker answer them right away live. If there isn't time, we will ask the speaker to provide an answer in the box so that everybody gets the answer. So for today, we're going to focus on weed control and fertility, both very critical things. You guys all know that. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to our first speaker, Dr. Tom Peters, who's going to talk about water hemp control in sugar beets. It's all yours, Tom.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you.